Every person has within them the capacity to rise above the life they are living today and step into something greater. The difference between those who remain the same and those who grow is not luck, talent, or opportunity. It is the decision to improve themselves no matter what. Improvement is not reserved for the privileged or the fortunate. It is available to anyone who chooses it. No matter where you start, no matter what your past has been, you can take control of your future by taking control of yourself. This begins with a simple but profound truth. Your life will never consistently rise above the level of the person you are becoming. If you want more out of life, you must become more in life. This is not about comparison with others, but about challenging yourself to be better than you were yesterday. It is about refusing to settle for mediocrity and choosing to walk the road of growth, discipline, and integrity, even when it is not easy. The journey of self-improvement is not a quick sprint. It is a lifelong climb, and every step you take brings you closer to the life you were meant to live. Every lasting change begins within, for the condition of the heart and mind shapes the reality you live in far more than circumstances ever could. Many people spend their lives trying to rearrange the world around them, changing jobs, shifting relationships, chasing new possessions, believing that if they can just adjust the outer environment, their lives will finally improve. Yet, history and personal experience repeatedly show that external changes without internal transformation are temporary at best. The truth is simple but profound. The quality of your life is a reflection of the quality of your inner self. If your thoughts are clouded with negativity, your choices will mirror that. If your heart is filled with bitterness, even the brightest blessings will feel dull. And if your mindset is rooted in doubt and fear, your actions will remain hesitant, preventing you from stepping into the fullness of your potential. This is why real improvement begins when you turn inward, when you stop trying to control what lies beyond your reach, and instead focus on mastering what you can truly influence. Your own character, your own attitude, your own habits. The moment you decide to take ownership of who you are, the power to change your life is placed firmly in your hands. You become the architect of your future rather than a passive observer of your fate. This shift in perspective is not about ignoring the difficulties of life, but about facing them with a stronger, wiser, more disciplined self. A person who is anchored in self-control and guided by clarity can navigate the storms of life without being destroyed by them. It is not enough to simply wish for improvement. Desire without action is a dream that never wakes. Every transformation begins with a choice, and that choice is renewed daily. Just as a tree grows stronger over years of enduring wind and rain, so does the human spirit grow when it is consistently fed with truth, discipline, and the determination to rise above mediocrity. Improvement is not a quick fix. It is a deliberate process of shedding what holds you back and nurturing what propels you forward. It is the courage to admit your flaws without shame, the humility to learn without pride, and the strength to act without delay. Many will look at their lives and point to circumstances as the reason for their lack of progress, blaming the economy, blaming others, blaming the past. But while those things may have influence, they do not hold the final say. The person who chooses to improve themselves from the inside out cannot be permanently held down by outside forces. The resilience born from inner growth becomes a shield against disappointment and a springboard toward opportunity. You begin to see challenges not as threats, but as training grounds for the person you are becoming. There is a freedom that comes with this realization, a freedom that cannot be purchased or taken away. It is the freedom of knowing that no matter what changes around you, you have the power to adapt, to endure, and to thrive. You are no longer at the mercy of other people's choices or life's unpredictable twists, because your strength is not built on what can be shaken. It is built on the solid foundation of your own disciplined, refined, and determined self. Improving yourself is the first and most essential step toward improving your life, because when you grow as a person, every part of your existence rises with you. The relationships you form, the goals you set, the challenges you face, All are elevated when you elevate yourself. This is the unshakable truth. If you want a better life, you must first become a better you. Growth is not a single event that happens overnight. It is a decision you make each day, often in moments so small that they seem insignificant at first. True transformation is built in layers, each one resting on the consistent effort of yesterday. Just as a river shapes rock through countless years of steady flow, so your daily actions carve out the person you are becoming. Too often people wait for a dramatic breakthrough to change their lives, but breakthroughs are not random accidents. They are the natural result of many quiet, disciplined choices made over time. It is in the discipline of waking early to prepare for your day, in the decision to respond with patience instead of anger, in the habit of replacing idle distractions with purposeful action, that real progress is formed. When you commit to growing daily, you stop measuring your life only by visible leaps forward and start valuing the steady climb upward. Some days, growth will be obvious. Other days, it will feel hidden beneath the surface. But whether you see it or not, those consistent steps are shaping your future in ways you cannot yet. Every sunrise is an invitation to be better than you were the day before, and how you answer that invitation determines the life you will lead. Each day holds countless opportunities to learn something new, to refine a skill, to strengthen your character. The small victories you win in the quiet hours, when no one is watching, are the ones that prepare you for the larger victories to come. A person who values daily growth does not wait for motivation to arrive. They create it through action. Even when energy is low or distractions are many, they choose the path that aligns with their higher goals rather than giving in to momentary comfort. Over weeks, months, and years, this daily discipline builds a momentum that is almost impossible to stop. Life rewards the persistent, not merely the passionate. Passion may ignite a spark, but persistence turns that spark into a steady flame that lights the path ahead, no matter how dark the journey may seem. You cannot change what you refuse to acknowledge. Self-awareness is the quiet strength that turns uncertainty into clarity and weakness into potential. Many people live their entire lives reacting to circumstances without ever examining the deeper causes within themselves. They wonder why the same problems keep returning, never realizing that those problems are rooted in patterns of thought and behavior they have never confronted. Awareness is like a mirror. It shows you the truth without distortion, but it is up to you to act on what you see. To be self-aware means to look honestly at your strengths without arrogance and your weaknesses without denial. It is not about self-criticism or dwelling on flaws. It is about understanding exactly where you stand so you can chart a path forward with purpose. Without awareness, you walk in circles, repeating the same mistakes and calling them fate. With awareness, you can break those cycles and move toward the life you truly want. When you take time to understand yourself, your habits, your triggers, your values, you gain the ability to direct your life instead of being swept along by it. You begin to see why you make certain choices, why you avoid certain challenges, and why you are drawn to certain people or situations. This understanding is power, because it allows you to interrupt harmful patterns before they take root. It also helps you lean into your strengths, using them as tools to overcome the areas where you struggle. Awareness does not guarantee instant change, but it provides the map and compass for the journey. Without it, improvement is guesswork. With it, every step is intentional. The person who is self-aware is never at the mercy of blind impulses. They live with deliberate clarity. And when you live with clarity, you make decisions that align with your deepest values, ensuring that every step you take moves you closer to the life you are meant to live. Dreams will always remain distant illusions until they are bridged by discipline. Desire alone can inspire you, but only discipline can carry you to the finish line. It is the steady, often unglamorous commitment to doing what must be done, even when feelings suggest otherwise. Many people confuse motivation with discipline, believing they must feel inspired to act. But discipline does not wait for feelings. It acts in spite of them. It is waking up early to prepare yourself even when you would rather sleep. It is choosing to work on your goals when distractions call for your attention. Discipline is not the enemy of freedom, it is the path to it. Without discipline, you are ruled by whims and impulses, constantly pulled away from what matters most. With discipline, you control your actions, and in controlling your actions, you shape your destiny. It builds habits. Habits build character, and character determines the course of your life. The truth is, discipline often feels uncomfortable in the moment, but it produces a comfort far greater than the temporary ease of giving in to laziness or distraction. Act of discipline, an investment in your future self. When you choose the hard right over the easy wrong, you strengthen your will and prove to yourself that you are capable of more than convenience would allow. Over time, discipline becomes second nature, a quiet strength that moves you forward even when the path is uphill. It sharpens your mind, steadies your emotions, and fortifies your resolve. Discipline is not a punishment. It is a gift you give yourself every day, the gift of knowing you are in control of your actions and not at the mercy of circumstances. It is the daily practice of aligning your behavior with your highest values, ensuring that no matter what happens around you, you remain anchored, consistent, and unwavering in your pursuit of growth. The greatest battles you will ever face are not with the world outside, but with the limits you place upon yourself. Fear, doubt, and complacency are enemies that live within, quietly undermining your progress long before any external challenge can reach you. Fear convinces you to stay where it feels safe, robbing you of opportunities that could transform your life. Doubt whispers that you are not ready, not capable, or not worthy, persuading you to shrink your vision until it no longer challenges you. Complacency tells you that where you are is good enough, lulling you into a slow, unnoticed decline. These forces are subtle but powerful, and if left unchecked, they can keep you locked in the same place for years. The first step to overcoming them is to recognize that they are not facts, they are feelings, and feelings can be challenged, redefined, and defeated. Victory over the inner enemy does not come from a single moment of defiance, but from a daily commitment to rise above these limitations. You overcome fear by taking action despite it, proving to yourself that you are stronger than the voice that says you cannot. You silence doubt by building competence through learning, practicing, and refusing to give up when results are slow. You defeat complacency by keeping your vision alive, setting goals that stretch you beyond your comfort zone, and surrounding yourself with reminders of the person you want to become. Every time you refuse to give in to these internal barriers, you weaken their hold on you. Over time, they no longer control your direction because you have trained yourself to move forward regardless of them. The true measure of personal growth is not how easily you succeed when everything is in your favor, but how determinedly you push forward when your greatest obstacles come from within. Conquer yourself, and you will find that no challenge in life is too great to overcome. Improvement without integrity is an empty victory, for what is gained without honesty will eventually be lost. True success is built on a foundation of character, not just achievement. Integrity is being the same person in the shadows as you are in the spotlight, living in such a way that you have nothing to hide and nothing to fear being exposed. It is choosing the right path even when it costs you, telling the truth even when a lie would be easier, and holding to your principles when compromise might seem more profitable. Without integrity, progress is unstable. What is built on deception and selfishness will crumble under the weight of its own weakness. But when integrity becomes the core of your improvement, every step forward strengthens you, because you are building not only skills and success, but a reputation and a legacy that cannot be shaken by time or trial. Living with integrity requires courage, for the honest path is often the hardest. There will be moments when cutting corners, bending rules, or hiding mistakes seems tempting. Yet each choice you make shapes the kind of person you are becoming. If you sacrifice integrity for gain, you may achieve temporary comfort, but you will lose the deeper peace that comes from living truthfully. Integrity also has a power that attracts trust. People are drawn to those whose words can be relied upon and whose actions align with their values. This trust opens doors that dishonesty can never unlock. It allows you to build relationships, opportunities, and influence that endure because they are grounded in truth. In the end, a life of integrity means you can stand tall, knowing that your improvement is not just about what you have accomplished, but about who you have become in the process. That kind of improvement doesn't just change your life. It sets an example that inspires others to raise their own standards as well. Without purpose, improvement can feel like motion without direction, effort without meaning. Purpose is the fuel that powers growth, the reason you keep going when challenges threaten to stop you. It gives every sacrifice a reason, every struggle a meaning, and every victory a deeper satisfaction. When you know why you are improving, even the hardest days become bearable because you understand that they are part of something greater. Without this deeper reason, it's easy to get lost in the grind, working hard but feeling unfulfilled, achieving milestones yet sensing something is still missing. Purpose transforms progress into fulfillment. It turns discipline into devotion and struggle into investment. It connects what you do today with the life you want to live tomorrow, making every choice matter. Finding your purpose is not always instant. It is often discovered through reflection, trial, and even failure. It may begin as a small seed of desire, an interest, or a calling that grows as you explore and refine it. But once you find it, purpose becomes a compass, guiding your decisions and keeping you aligned with what truly matters. It stops you from chasing goals that do not belong to you and helps you resist distractions that pull you away from your calling. With purpose, you are no longer driven only by external rewards. You are sustained by an inner conviction that what you are working toward has meaning beyond yourself. This sense of mission keeps you resilient when progress is slow, because your motivation is rooted deeper than results. Purpose is what turns self-improvement into a lifelong journey rather than a temporary burst of effort. It's the anchor that keeps you steady and the wind that carries you forward, ensuring that every step you take is a step toward the life you were meant to live. Challenges are not signs of failure, they are invitations to rise higher. Life will never be free of trials, but the way you face them determines whether they break you or build you. Resilience is the ability to endure storms without losing your direction, to bend without breaking, and to stand tall again after you've been knocked down. Many people see adversity as an obstacle to their progress, but in truth, it is often the very thing that strengthens them for greater things ahead. Just as muscles grow through resistance, the human spirit grows through hardship. Every difficulty carries within it an opportunity to develop patience, endurance, and perspective. Without trials, growth would be shallow. With them, your roots grow deep, making you unshakable in the face of future challenges. Resilience does not mean you are unaffected by pain or disappointment. It means you refuse to let them define you. It is the choice to keep moving forward even when the road is uncertain, to learn from losses instead of being crushed by them. The resilient person asks, "What can this teach me? How can this make me stronger?" rather than, "Why is this happening to me?" Over time, this mindset turns setbacks into stepping stones. Resilience is built through action, by facing fears instead of avoiding them, by getting up after failure instead of staying down, and by keeping your focus on the bigger picture when circumstances tempt you to give up. It is not about avoiding the rain, but learning how to walk through it with purpose. When you develop resilience, you discover that life's hardest moments often prepare you for life's greatest opportunities. What once seemed like a burden becomes the training that equips you for the victories ahead. The people you surround yourself with will either lift you higher or quietly hold you back. Your environment has a powerful influence on your thoughts, habits, and ambitions. If you spend your time among those who constantly complain, settle for less, and discourage growth, it becomes harder to rise above that level. But when you are surrounded by voices that challenge you, inspire you, and believe in your potential, you find yourself aiming higher than you thought possible. Positive influence is not about flattery or empty encouragement. It is about being around people who expect the best from you and are willing to push you toward it. These are the relationships that spark your creativity, fuel your determination, and remind you of the vision you are pursuing when your own motivation runs low. Choosing the right influences is an intentional act. It means seeking out those who live with integrity, discipline, and purpose, and learning from their example. It also means creating distance from influences that drain your energy or lead you away from your values. The right people will not always tell you what you want to hear, but they will tell you what you need to hear to grow. They will celebrate your victories without envy, stand with you in your challenges without judgment. As you build this circle, you will notice your own mindset shifting. You will think bigger, act bolder, and recover faster from setbacks. Over time, you will also become a positive influence yourself, inspiring others through your example and encouragement. Influence is contagious. The more you surround yourself with greatness, the more it becomes natural to live greatly. And when your life is filled with such influences, improvement becomes not just a personal journey, but a shared one, magnifying its impact far beyond yourself. Improvement demands the courage to change, and change is rarely comfortable. It requires you to step away from what is familiar and predictable, even when it feels safe, and step into a space where outcomes are uncertain and risks are real. Many never experience their true potential because they cling to comfort, mistaking it for security. But comfort zones are silent traps. They keep you from growing, from stretching, from discovering the strength and abilities that only reveal themselves in moments of challenge. The decision to change often comes with resistance from within and from those around you, but it is in that resistance that your resolve is tested and strengthened. You cannot build a greater life without releasing the habits, environments, and even mindsets that keep you tied to a lesser one. The courage to change does not mean the absence of fear. It means moving forward despite it. Every step into the unknown is an act of faith in your ability to adapt, learn, and overcome. At first, change feels like loss. You leave behind routines, relationships, or ways of thinking that once gave you comfort. But what you gain is far greater: new skills, new perspectives, and a new sense of power over your own life. Each bold decision expands your capacity to face the next challenge with more confidence. And as you look back, you realize that the very moments you feared most were the ones that shaped you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. The life you truly want will not be found by clinging to the familiar. It will be discovered in the moments when you dare to step into the unfamiliar with courage as your guide. Change is not the enemy of comfort. It is the birthplace of the life you were meant to live. Improvement is never just about you. It is about the lives you touch along the way. The person you become through your growth leaves a mark on those who see you live with integrity, discipline, and purpose. Every action, every choice, every word shapes the example you set for others, your children, your friends, your community, and even people you may never meet. This is your legacy, and it is built not at the end of your life, but in the everyday moments when you choose to do what is right, to strive for excellence, and to live with intention. When you improve yourself, you naturally improve the lives around you, because your strength becomes a source of strength for others. Your legacy is not measured by what you accumulate, but by the impact you leave behind. Titles fade, possessions pass into other hands, and achievements are soon replaced by new ones. But the way you live, your character, your kindness, your perseverance, can inspire others for generations. Think of the people whose lives have inspired you most. It is not simply what they accomplished, but the way they lived while pursuing it. They show that it is possible to rise above hardship, to live with unwavering principles, and to keep moving forward even when the path is steep. You have the same opportunity each day to plant seeds through your actions, seeds that may grow into hope, courage and purpose in someone else's life. Improvement is not a selfish pursuit. It is a gift you give to the world. And when your life becomes a reflection of growth, resilience, and integrity, your legacy will speak long after you are gone, inspiring others to begin their own journey of becoming their best selves. Self-improvement is not a destination to be reached, but a lifelong journey to be embraced. There will never be a moment when you have learned everything, achieved everything, or perfected everything. Each season of life presents new challenges, new lessons, and new opportunities to grow. The person who believes they have arrived stops evolving, and in that stillness, they begin to decline. True growth comes from understanding that there is always another level to reach, another weakness to overcome, another strength to refine. The journey is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming better, one step at a time, for as long as life gives you breath. Committing to lifelong growth means living with humility and curiosity. Humility reminds you that no matter how much you've learned, there is always more to discover. Curiosity keeps you exploring, asking questions, and seeking out the wisdom that will shape your next stage of development. This mindset turns even difficulties into opportunities because you see them not as obstacles, but as teachers. When you view improvement as a continual process, you remove the pressure of having to arrive and instead focus on daily progress. Over time, this steady approach shapes a life of depth, resilience, and meaning. You begin to understand that the real reward of self-improvement is not just the achievements you collect, but the person you become along the way. And when the end of your journey does come, you will look back not with regret over what you didn't reach, but with gratitude for the life you lived fully. Constantly learning, constantly growing, and constantly becoming the best version of yourself possible. When all is said and done, the most important work you will ever do is the work you do on yourself. Every choice, every discipline, every moment of courage you display not only shapes your own destiny, but leaves an imprint on the lives around you. Improving yourself is not a selfish act. It is a contribution to the world. A stronger, wiser, more disciplined. You can face challenges with resilience, lead with integrity, and inspire others to rise higher. There will be times when the climb feels steep, when progress seems slow, and when doubt whispers in your ear. But remember, every small step forward is building something greater than you can yet see. The rewards of self-improvement are not just in what you achieve, but in who you become. And as you continue to grow, you will find that improving yourself truly does improve your life. Because a transformed person transforms everything they touch. Your journey is not over. It has only just begun. Keep going and keep becoming the best version of yourself.